Hello, loved ones. So, I talk a lot about individuality, and and because we do live in two different realities. We live in the reality of your individual self and that of the collective. Now, a good illustration of this, if you remember, I don't know how old you are, but if we used to see these commercials or whatever, we would it would always show the person being different. Like it would be an aerial view over a city, and you would just see like a sea of black umbrellas, kind of just moseying around, going wherever they're going on the street. And then you would see one lone red umbrella just kind of going through, just kind of weaving through the black umbrellas. So that's a good analogy in that we are a part of a group. We are immersed in it. And our field is interacting with all of their fields, and that creates one big field. That is the frequency or the vibration or whatever of that group. And of course, it gets bigger and bigger. I mean, this goes all the way out to the universe, the entire universe. That's how planets have its own sound, its own vibration. Each planet has its own sound. But when we bring it all the way down, you can go all the way down to some subatomic levels, and there's always a vibration. There's always a field. So, with the analogy with the umbrellas, the black ones all just kind of whatever. They're walking down the street, and then you see the one red one. Yes, that red umbrella is amongst that group, and it is that group's vibration is influencing the vibration of the red, and the red is also influencing the back, of course, on a smaller scale. But when we become aware as an individual, as a sovereign soul, immortal soul that you are, when you become aware of the fact that you are and you are a divine spark, you are a expression of the creator. Once you become aware of that, that's kind of when you become empowered. That's when you realize that yes, I am part of all of this, but I'm also my own individual self. And once you become an individual self, that's when you can put up your barriers, put up your boundaries, things like that. You can go your own way. You don't have to keep going with the flow of the other black umbrellas. Uh, I've heard it. I've heard it referred to as like a minnow in a stream. Minnow swimming with the flow, whatever, and that's its entire world, unless it decides to change directions. So if this minnow turns and changes directions and is going against the flow, it just changes its entire world. What's that mean? It just means, because a minnow's not going to do that, first of all. But if it were, then it made a conscious decision on its own to break away from the flow, to break away from what everything else is, but from what everything around it is doing. That's when it claimed its individuality. And when we do that, we break free from having to accept the fate of the rest of them. Once we claim our individuality and go our own way, that's when anything that happens to the collective, anything that happens to the rest of the fish in the stream, doesn't have to happen to us. Because we've claimed our individuality, we're going our own way, and we don't accept that fate. So that's why I often encourage people, go your own way. It's not always easy. You're going to get a lot of pushback, especially from friends and family. But it's worth it, for one, because you're going to create your own reality that is what you want to experience. But also, you don't have to suffer their fate. And let's face it, the fate of the collective right now, I've said this many times, the trajectory of the collective ain't that great, is it? It's not somewhere we want to be. So we don't have to be. We can change the direction. Be the red umbrella. That's all. Anyway, loved ones, I just finished editing a podcast episode. I think I'm going to title it the money episode or something like that. And I'll be having that published tonight. This is Sunday. What? The 20 something. Sunday the 22nd. September 22nd, 2024. Anyway, loved ones, I love you, and I'll be back directly.